A few thoughts now that the dust has settled on Sunday. The new stadium is absolutely incredible. Breathtaking. I never went to any of the test events, so Sunday was my very first time getting up close and personal with it. I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting that though. It's like Schrodinger's stadium. It's bigger than I thought, while being smaller than I thought. It's not. You can tell it's there when you go past on the train or in the car. You know it's there. It's a big stadium, but it's fairly unobtrusive in the way it's been designed. It looks like it's made of brick and a bit of iron, which fits in with the old buildings around there anyway. So it doesn't just jump out at you at this expanse of steel and smoked glass like you get with a lot of other stadiums. It's brilliantly designed, absolutely incredible, very much in keeping with the local surroundings, but then being stood underneath the south stand, it's absolutely incredible. It's like looking up the side of a mountain. Absolutely glorious. The sound is amazing. It's been designed with acoustics in mind, and you can tell it traps in a lot of that sound, or it feels like it does. It obviously actually doesn't trap in a lot of sound, because there was loads of videos of people miles away able to hear everything very, very clearly. But I've been to a lot of places where you know how loud a crowd roars, and it doesn't really seem that loud. It just seems to be lost in ether. Not at Bramley-Moore, at the Hill Dickinson. Jeez, man. Hairs on the back of the neck stood up. The songs before the teams came out, the old songs, Spirit of the Blues, things like that, were brilliant. There She Goes, spine tingling. And then when the sirens went off and then Z-Cars started, genuinely the hairs on the back of my neck were just, I don't get that, or I haven't had that for a long, long time. The last game at Goodison was sort of a bit like that, but it was more of a party atmosphere. Everyone was just smiling, happy. Just seemed to be, I don't know, there was more of an energy on Sunday. And it's understandable. I mean, Goodison, we had just under 40,000 people there. There was just under 52,000 people. So an extra 12,000. It doesn't sound a lot. That's a good crowd for a lot of teams in the Championship. Just 12,000 would be a good crowd. That's extra. That extra noise is amazing. There's a few issues with getting in and out of the place. Obviously, with that amount of people, there would be. But I think it's going to take a year or so for things to absolutely level out, until people know exactly where they're going to. In the same way that, having spent 40 years going to Goodison, I knew exactly what time to turn up, where to park, or back when I was drinking, where I wanted to go, where I wanted to meet my mates. That was all sorted, we knew all that, because it had been done over the space of decades. This, it's just completely brand new, but it'll take a while. Back on Wednesday, hopefully starts to get more and more into a flow. I think people will find little shortcuts. If you don't need to walk down Regent Road across the Bascule Bridge towards town, they might not do. If you can walk further up and bypass, you're going to end up with loads of people just milling off, and it'll thin out a little bit, I think. It'll make it easier. There's a few issues inside the ground apparently with some areas. The bars were struggling to serve people. Again, You can have the best stadium in the world, you're limited if the machinery falls apart or just ceases to work, or the people. Not that I think the people were at fault for some of the stuff that I saw. Seems a few of the machines had a little bit of a fit. But again, all this is, you can have test events with 20,000 people there. It's not the same as having 52,000 extremely thirsty scousers. Then you find out how good your stuff is. But I think that will settle down as well. Again, we'll get into our routine as fans. They'll get into their routine as catering staff and bar workers and everything else. We'll settle down. But it's absolutely glorious. Down there by the river, there's water everywhere. I love water. I love being near the river, near the docks as well. Just standing there, looking out towards the city, looking towards the city of Liverpool, seeing the liver buildings, and then just water flickering off the gentle water, and light flickering off the gentle water in the docks. Absolutely amazing. It's going to be a nightmare during the winter when it's cold. Because the water, the wind coming in off the water is horrific. I know that. I remember going to the Riverside Stadium in Middlesbrough for a pre-season friendly. July, I think it was. Middle of summer. I was in the main stand. And it was freezing. Middles was cold anyway, but middle of the summer it was absolutely freezing because you're right by the water. Wicks every bit of heat out of you. So it's going to be horrific round there at that point. Night time, it's going to be interesting what happens on Wednesday on the way out. It'll be dark. Will it be more difficult? I don't know. But it was a hell of an experience. Looked amazing, just being stood there. Looked amazing on TV. The videos, like I say, people over on the Wirral, shooting video from there, just seeing like the fireworks going off before the kick-off, the blue smoke everywhere. Looked insane. Something else, man. If you had a chance to go, I suggest you do. The best stadium I've ever been in. Absolutely insanely good. Everything's expensive, which you'd expect if you're having to try and pay for an almost £1 billion stadium. But it's going to regenerate the area. There's already thousands and thousands of jobs been created, not just in the construction of the place, but in people working there now. It's a bigger stadium, there's more people. There's more people needed to service those people. There's more pubs opened around there, more bars, more restaurant-y type places to eat. The more of those that open, the more people that will be needed to work in them. There's already the Titanic Hotel. I don't think that's going to be the final hotel on that stretch of road. I think there's going to be more hotels. Because the stadium's there and the infrastructure is getting better, there's more places to eat, more places to go and drink and things. There will be more places opening up. It's been regenerated. For years and years, that whole dock area was just derelict. There was nothing there. All you need to do is go and watch things like Bread, 51st State. Some other 51st State especially was filmed a lot around there. A lot of the car chase stuff, and you can see how derelict it was. That's now been redeveloped. Not all of it, just where we are, the stadium. But there's plans in place for the dock next to where we are. I think actually Everton are trying to buy that dock as well. Again, to build another hotel and more leisure facilities. But all the way along, there's going to be people trying to buy these places and redevelop them, and they need it. Where it is, Vauxhall is a fairly, I don't want to say a poor area, but it's not great. It could do with a bit of extra money. It could do with a bit of pride in the place. Seems to be the kind of gaff where, I don't know, nobody's bothered. People just live there. There used to be a community there. I don't know if there still is. But, I don't know. I think a bit more pride in the area. A bit more... a few more amenities. I think it'd be a much nicer area. People might take a bit more pride. Might look after it a bit more. Hopefully the crime will come down. And it'd be a nicer place to go. There are some areas around there that desperately need a bit more cash. Some places knocked down. Some pubs around there that are knocked down. Things like the Green Man. That would be doing a roaring trade now if it was still up, but it's not. There's a bit of student accommodation there, which is tidying up bits of it. But again, the whole area needs that little bit of a shot in the arm, I think. But this kind of shot in the arm, not the other one. There's too much of that down there as well. But I think it's fantastic. It's good for the area. It's good for the city of Liverpool in general. But for that part of the city, which has just been left, everywhere else seems to have had a bit of money spent on it. A bit of regeneration. That area just hasn't for years. And I know because I used to drive back from there all the time, coming back to Southport. Just needs a little bit extra. I hope they get it as well. I hope it really does act as a springboard for the rest of the place. And who knows? As that expands, it might expand further and further northwards. Further south is pretty much covered, to be honest with you. As you walk away from the stadium, there's a couple of docks next to us, which I can say, Everton's trying to buy at least one of them. As you go further along, there's been a lot of redevelopment. There's like apartment complexes, and then it gets prettier and prettier as you get into the city. The south end has also been sort of redeveloped. There's the old festival gardens is being redeveloped as well as houses being built on there. It was just this little one section which has been left to go to rack and ruin, and because we've moved in, it looks like it's going to get sorted out. Maybe if it works well, this could be a lesson to other places. Don't just knock things down or let them go derelict. Try and get things working, try and get things moving forward. See how you can redevelop these areas. It's amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. Can't wait to go back.